People move to the suburbs to start a new life. For Joshua Helms, it also means starting a new family.
I was a traveling musician for years and tried the family thing, and so glad I did because it's amazing, and we've got 2 little girls now.
Joshua puts down roots and thinks he's left his wild days behind him. But it turns out, those wild days have moved 3 doors down from Joshua and his family.
Our neighbors were rowdy, for sure. We weren't friends because I was just at a different point in time in my life.
And neighbors in different phases of their lives can end up causing friction throughout the neighborhood. One morning, while at home with his wife and kids, Joshua hears a scream outside.
And I'm just hearing blood-curdling screaming. And I see this guy out in the front yard, and he's absolutely naked.
I did say God. I said God. I said God.
Joshua recognizes it's one of his neighbors, and he suspects his neighbor may be under the influence.
Thank you. Thank you. Help. I'm sentient. I'm alive.
He's already handcuffed and covered partially with a safety vest. And when the police officers try questioning him, the neighbor lets it be known that he'll be the one asking the questions.
How many numbers are there? What color are you? What color is pink? What color is pink?
And instead of writing out his high at home, he's spending it on Joshua's lawn, while munching on Joshua's mail.
He sees a mailman. He ran towards him, and he eats the mail right out of his hand. The one thing he chooses to eat is my $10.99. You have to try to explain that to the IRS, you know? No, someone ate it. Sure, yeah, okay.
The police are unsure how to treat the neighbor until they know what he's on.
What did you take today?
Pig. I took pig. I snorted a ton of pig up my.
According to him, he snorted a ton of pink up his ass. I'm just, you can bleep that.
Pink's a hell of a drug.
Pink is a designer drug made in black market labs overseas. It can be 8 times more potent than morphine, and if not treated quickly, can cause a mental breakdown.
There's a couple of moments throughout this whole thing that still stick with me. He's asking the cops, what is the prime number?
What is the prime number?
And he's just saying, no, I've got to go higher.
I gotta go up.
When he asked the cops, if you ever smoke pot?
Marijuana?
Or you ever smoke marijuana? And the cops no.
But as he witnesses his neighbor's meltdown, Joshua also feels some sympathy.
I used to be a traveling musician, so I feel for the guy, to be honest. I'm so happy that it never came to that with me.
Can I see that picture? Later, yeah.
The neighbor's drug trip ends with a trip to the hospital. Joshua posts the clip online, and it's watched 600,000 times in 6 days. The man moves out of the neighborhood immediately after this incident, and Joshua never sees him again. But he does have a favor to ask his other rowdy neighbors for next time.
If you're gonna do pink in your I want a 24-hour written notice in my mailbox so that I can put my kids to bed and turn on my Ring doorbell and get more videos like this, you know?
Shocking moments are never in short supply in the neighborhood.
Big man, bro, big man. Big man, don't touch him.
Especially for Melissa Garay from Gresham, Oregon, who hears a noise outside her home one night and checks her security feed. And her jaw drops when her car parked across the street suddenly drives away. The police managed to recover her vehicle and establish a suspect. She's then surprised to learn that the suspect is, in fact, one of her neighbors. But her greatest shock comes a week later, when that same neighbor confronts her with an odd request.
I'd like all my stuff back.
The neighbor claims he purchased the stolen car and left his belongings in it when the police took it.
Well, we would have liked the car not to get stolen too, but you didn't give a
I don't steal cars. I have a car.
Then how the were you in that car, bro? You're ballsy, dude.
Beyond that.
He wants it out of.
What? That's all I'm doing. you think was in there?
God. Why?
What? Because the cops took everything, dude. Why don't you ask the cops where your is? Why would you steal someone's car and then think you had the right to back?
So you guys don't have my then?
We have none of your. We have our that you took. That's what we have.
I didn't take nothing.
Okay. You're wild.
The neighbor drives off without his belongings. Melissa files a police report, and the neighbor is charged with possession of a stolen vehicle. The neighbor pleads not guilty to the charge, and Melissa is sure to keep her vehicle locked in her garage to avoid any unexpected future joyrides in the neighborhood.
You're ballsy, dude.
In Sherwood, Oregon, a small town southwest of Portland, a man and his girlfriend find themselves in the crosshairs of a couple next door in their apartment complex.
Sit there with your door open.
We can have our door open.
It's our house.
The homeowners claim the couple are upset that they leave their front door open, seemingly taking offense to being able to see inside their apartment.
Close your door, scumbags. Bring it, buddy. Get the out of here.
According to the homeowners, the issues start almost immediately after the neighbors move in. The couple starts complaining that the homeowner's dog barks every time they walk by.
Shut your dog up.
Frustrated by the interactions, the relationship gets worse.
You got an issue with me? Well, I think you're a douchebag, yeah. Back at ya.
One evening, while the woman next door is putting up Halloween decorations, the homeowners antagonize her through their doorbell camera.
Yeah, see each way about that.
Reach.
When the neighbor's husband comes home, he's told of the homeowner's actions, which sets him off.
He's over here laughing.
Yeah.
As the neighbors continue at a high volume, another neighbor, looking to quiet the situation, steps out of his home and directly into the line of verbal fire.
I know you guys got. Shut your mouth. Don't tell me to shut my. Yeah, I'm telling you to shut your mouth.
You stay out of touch.
You.
And then, yet another neighbor shows up to see what the ruckus is all about.
Yeah, I'm telling you we're not okay. You get harassed by your friend every day.
Even as they try to calm the neighbors down,
Just go inside.
No! You go inside. I'm sick of this.
the police are called and they investigate the commotion. The neighbors explain their reasoning for the loud outburst, believing the homeowners are the ones antagonizing them.
I gotta listen to his now every day.
And nobody has done anything. So that is why we are in the state we are in.
Yeah, you go right ahead. Giant listen.
The neighbors voice their anger towards the police, who try to keep the peace, while warning them of their own behavior.
If you want to go to jail, keep talking. Otherwise, you can get the citation.
While it's not known if any tickets are written, thankfully for the homeowners, the neighbors move out soon after, leaving behind a quieter and more peaceful apartment complex.
Bring it, buddy. Get the out of here.
Who doesn't love coming home to find a delivery van? With porch piracy on the rise, the only way to ensure your package is safely delivered, maybe if it's handed to you by the driver themselves. But looks can be deceiving. The delivery driver assumes the woman who just pulled into the driveway lives at this address. But it turns out this stranger is just posing as the homeowner. And once the delivery van is out of sight, she absconds with the package. Porch pirates shadowing delivery trucks is a growing problem in neighborhoods throughout the country. Thieves will follow the trucks, hanging back until delivery is made, and then swooping in for the steal. This porch pirate, who's still at large, skips the porch altogether and just lets the package come to her. Security experts suggest having packages sent to a neighbor's house or a work location if you can't be home during delivery times. That way, your package will find its way to you, rather than someone pretending to be you. When you move to a new neighborhood, you never know what kind of neighbors you'll have. Unless you're like Alex in Santiago.
We've been best friends since, 15, 16 years, something like that. He's super annoying.
I love this guy.
Love you, brother.
As Alex's drone camera shows, after 20 years of friendship, these two best buddies moved to the New Jersey suburbs in 2021, right across the street from each other.
Hey, what if we just buy houses next to each other, across the street or something?
Everybody jokes about that.
Yeah, but we made it happen.
Yeah. Living next to your neighbor isn't quite what we thought it would be. We thought it'd be like slumber parties every day type stuff. Hey!
It's not long before a neighborhood prank war is in full swing.
We've been playing pranks on each other for a long time.
Yeah. Obviously, after we moved in, it escalated.
One of his videos hit 100,000 views.
The friends turned neighbors begin documenting their pranks for social media.
And he called me dude, you have to make a video. We went viral. Everybody's asking for the other guy's POV. So I made one video, and within 24 hours, I was at 2 million views.
Look at that. What are you doing? Is he doing Zumba?
And it just kept going from there.
Videos of their neighborhood antics are now wildly popular.
The best prank that he did to me was, it probably is the drone. That's
for 100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't wrap my mind around how I could get him in such a way as to where there was no possible way he could one-up me. And I thought he doesn't have a drone, but I do. So I thought it'd be pretty epic to walk my dogs for once, right? Gather their poop, and then fly it over with my drone to his house and release it on his front lawn. And all I thought to myself is, if this thing lands on somebody else's house, it's gonna be a problem. If the whole thing just falls out of the sky.
But for these neighboring friends, they've created more than just social media hype.
There goes the neighborhood.
Some people are probably here these guys go again. And then there's the other people are here these guys go again.
Or, they're watching from their windows so jealous they're not playing with us.
They've created a home.
I just wanted to have a collection of memories where I just do the dumbest things to him.
Also that, I guess.
And everyone in their neighborhood should expect the pranks to continue.
I definitely have some things up my sleeve.
I do. I definitely.
You don't even sound confident right now. I got some things cooking,
because the thing is, it's reactionary. I have to wait for him to do something.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Making this neighborhood prank war one for the ages.
You're a special kind of piece of work, man.
On the first day of lobster season, food blogger James Mizuki has just caught his lunch.
These are two beautiful lobsters. We about to eat good. Jacob found a good spot for us to park. We're gonna set up the grill. Oh, take a look at our huge lobsters.
While he and his neighbor Jacob prep their feast in a public parking lot, an unexpected visitor appears.
How's it going?
What are you guys doing here?
We're doing a catch and cook. We're making some lobster rolls. Wanna try it?
No.
And she soon becomes crabby.
I want to see you leave. I want you to pack up and get the heck out of here.
Okay, what was your name?
Don't.
My name's James.
My name is I'm on the board, and if you're not out of here in a minute, I am calling the sheriff.
Okay.
It turns out that what the men think is a public parking lot is actually owned by an upscale homeowners association.
We're just trying to pack up so we can get out of here. We'll throw this
You're
into the
not
trash.
packing up. Pack it up!
And this vigilant board member is angry enough to make good on her threat to call the cops.
And we have some guys who are cooking.
We're leaving. We're leaving private property.
We're not bothering anybody.
You're bothering me.
Well, we're trying not to.
We're not bothering anybody.
Intimidate me.
I'm not
He's not
intimidating
trying to
you.
intimidate you.
We're not
I'll
bothering
bring
anybody.
suit against you.
Why would
We're
you
not
do
bothering
I would
anybody.
advise you to get the heck out.
If you give us a chance, we're trying to.
We're not bothering anybody.
As the irate neighbor goes to leave, she suddenly does something shocking.
Whoa, stay. You are. Oh my.
Oh, look what she just did. Oh my.
The neighbor's tantrum has destroyed most of James and his neighbor's meal, not to mention the 4 hours of diving and cooking.
There she goes. Ooh. And that's the remainder of our lobster rolls.
The pair never crossed paths with the lobster roll wrecker again.
Wow, I can't believe that just happened.
But James finds sympathy online when the video was viewed 20 million times.
So sad. We got it on video, I'm pretty sure.
And as these hungry neighbors head downtown to grab some tacos, it becomes clear they've made a narrow escape.
There goes the sheriff that she called. Hey, we're leaving just in time.
Land O'Lakes, Florida resident Jennifer Michelle is out of the house visiting her mother nearby when she receives a doorbell cam notification on her phone. When she checks the camera's app, to her dismay, she sees 2 sheriff deputies and a handyman drilling the locks to her front door.
Hello?
Hello?
What are you doing?
We're here to finalize the eviction.
What eviction?
It was posted a week ago. It was posted last week.
On my house?
Yes, ma'am.
This is clearly news to Jennifer.
I pulled up on my bills. My dogs are inside there.
What is your name?
My name is Jennifer, and that is my house.
Jennifer, what's your last name, Jennifer?
My last name?
The 2 sheriff's deputies check Jennifer's house number to confirm they're evicting the right tenant. When?
Oh, damn it.
I am caught up on my bills. Nobody has served me an eviction notice.
Yeah, I think.
What the hell is going on?
One of the deputies begins the walk of shame back to Jennifer's door to inform her they've got the right neighborhood, but the wrong house.
Hey, we do apologize. We have the wrong house. It's the next door neighbors. What we're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to repair their locks. I don't know.
My dogs are inside.
No, we're not going in. We're not going in. Hey, real quick, what's your phone number? Let me call you.
Worried she might find her dogs loose and all her belongings in the street, Jennifer rushes back home to her neighborhood.
You know what? I'm at my mom's house. I will be there in 15 minutes.
15? Okay, we'll be here.
Yes, sir.
The deputies not only apologize profusely to Jennifer for the mix-up, but they quickly change her locks and pick up lunch for her and her mom. Maybe Jennifer could pay it forward and take her future next-door neighbor out to lunch.
We do apologize. We have the wrong house.